Cowabunga dudes and dudettes, this is Anthony, aka Batbomb82, and today I'll be doing my 194th Mezco Toyz 112 Collective action figure review, this time being of Morbius. Now, taking a look at the front, we can see that the figure comes in your standard Mezco box with a really great image of Morbius. And if we turn the box around, multiple images and panels showcasing the figure in multiple posing positions with his different interchangeable parts and accessories. So with the box out of the way, let's go ahead and crack this figure open and let him breathe. Alright guys, now let's take a closer look at the Mezco Morbius. Now this is a surprisingly decent figure. I'm going to be very honest with you, I don't really care a whole lot about Morbius. I've never really been into the character in the comic books back in the day. Not really a fan of the modern version. That movie was absolute garbage. And this figure, honestly, not so bad. I've had a few Marvel Legends Morbiuses in the past. Those are long gone from my collection. And I was really excited to get this one because I genuinely love what Mezco does with their figures, especially when they Mezcofy a character like they've done here. Now, for the most part, this character does look like, fairly your simple Morbius type of character. Obviously the head sculpt is dope. I love the hair and things like that. The depth of the eyes, that nice shadow around those bright red eyes really makes that red pop even more. His little goatee thing, right, the little chin strap, or what do you call that? Right there, the nose looks great. But then you got the full bodysuit with that collar. The rolled up sleeves look awesome, and then you got this like textured pattern, almost like a symbiote suit or something like that, you know what I mean? But that looks really cool, all going throughout the suit. You got pretty standard boots here that have a very low cut towards the inside and then very high going up the back, but you can even see with the cape we get more of that texturing pattern even here inside the collar, and even more in the inlining of the actual cape like that. That's really cool too. We do get a bendy wire here in the collar piece like that, as well as on the cape, so you can pose that around and do different things. It doesn't flare out as much as I would like because of this pleat right here, but it still works out pretty good when you're getting him posed around and getting like some flying poses and things like that. And you can see he's just very, very pale. I do wish he had a little bit more of a wash, just very little more, you know what I mean? But I get he's supposed to be very pale, so it does work for the character. I just personally wish he had a little more depth and things like that, but I do like it. You can see even like the veins on the hands. It's kind of hard to tell, just again because he's so bright, but you can kind of see like the veining on the back of the hands like that. You see like a little bit of blue on there. I think that works out really cool. Again, this is a very unique design. Again, still very classic, but with the Mezco-fied texturing and things like that, it really adds to the character. So now let's go ahead and move on to accessories. Of course, we do get the Mezco circular base stand with the Morbius logo right there with the 3 daggers. And then we do get the clear articulated arm that come with every figure, and I love that so much. We also do get a bunch of interchangeable hands, things like your closed-fisted hands, different types of gripping hands like a trigger finger hand and a holding hand for some of the accessories that he does come with. We got different types of clawing hands and slashing hands, which all I think work out great for this character, and that's pretty much all you're really going to need. But some of the coolest things are definitely going to be those head sculpts, man. You get some incredible head sculpts. It's a pretty standard one that's looking straight forward. Looks, again, really good with those deep-set eyes. A more angry head with his snarling teeth, and you can see his fangs popping out. The hair is a little more messier. I do love that a lot. And then you got that really gnarly screaming head. I mean, he is fully pissed. He's full on vampire, and he's going to chomp on somebody very hard. And that is just a cool look for a display. So I'm going to go ahead and pop off this head right here. And I'm going to put this one on like that just because I think that head sculpt looks fantastic, man. That is a scary looking dude coming at you. I mean, you do not want to mess with that. I love that so much. So now I'm going to bring this here. Now, this is the briefcase he comes with, because sometimes it kind of feels like he doesn't really have a whole lot of accessories until you open this thing up and see the plethora of gadgets and toys that he does come with. Starting off at the top there, you can see he has all these doohickeys and doodads and screens and things like that. I love the little vials that can pop out. I love this little red section right here with the Deadpool logo in the center. Of course, it's not the Deadpool logo, but I think it's the Deadpool logo, and actually does spin. You can spin that around with all those little vials like he's mixing his blood and things like that, so that's actually very cool too. You have to get some little pointy to pop up the little screen right there so he can watch my YouTube videos and all my reviews that I have from Mezco, almost at 200, so that's pretty cool too. And at the bottom, you can see even more little gadgets, things like this little portable iPad that you can pop out, so that's pretty awesome. You can play Sudoku and Words with Friends and all that kind of stuff right here. I love the fact that this little thing comes out, so you can pop this open, kind of transform it that way, pull this out like so, and then you could fold this like that, and there you see he has a tiny little foldable microscope to see how small your penis is. What's also really cool is you can actually take off this entire top piece like that and reveal even more gizmos and gadgets. Like he has a really cool gun in there, which I'm assuming is for these silver bullets, a little knife going on right here, a type of hammer. You got some silver stakes with, I'm assuming, some serum in there. And some of these things can come off. Like I said, the gun, the knife, the hammer, and then the two daggers. Everything else does stay in there. But again, you kind of have to get something like pointy and sharp to pull out, and you can pop out the gun like that, which I think is cool. I do love the fact that you can actually store all this stuff in this one briefcase. It's pretty awesome. Like I said, when you first open the package, it almost feels like he comes with nothing until you open this up and you're like, damn, he comes with a lot of stuff, and that's actually really, really cool. Now you could also remove this top piece right here, and all these inserts do come out, and you can turn this around. You'll see a little slot right here where you can insert a button cell battery that this thing does come with, and then if you hit the little switch on there, that does turn on. It'll activate some LED lights in there, and this whole starts a little sequence of the little red lights circling around there, which I think looks really cool around that Deadpool logo, making it seem like he's mixing his potions and his blood and things like that. And then we'll get little LEDs on the keypad and the little touchpad at the bottom there, and it just circulates or cycles through those light patterns, which I think is really cool. That's a really fun touch, and that's a place where I think Mezco really excels in. Now let's run down his articulation. So the head and the neck are on ball pegs, rolls around a decent amount. It is going to be hindered by the length of the hair. Can pivot side to side, up and down about that much. I wish it could look up a little more, especially for those flying poses, and I really like those ears. And then side to side, your arms can go all the way up, down, up and out that far. That's pretty good. There does feel like there's a bit of a butterfly joint in there, so that's really nice. Rotation in the bicep. We got double jointed elbows, so a good bend right there. Rotation at those wrists, as well as a hinge at the wrist, and that hinge is really tight, so be careful with that. We get double wall peg in the midsection going into the crotch and up into his chest, so that rolls around very nicely. Does turn left and right, pivot side to side, crunches back and forth, pretty good. Hip joints that kick forward up that far, back not so much. Splits out very far, that's really nice. Rotation of the upper thigh, double jointed knees where he can almost kick himself in his own butt. Nothing at the boot, but the ankles are on ball pegs. Those roll around, up and down, side to side, and a pretty good ankle rocker. And I love that. It's a pretty decent ankle rocker considering for Mezco. So overall, I think this is a cool figure, man. Again, I'm not a giant Morbius fan. If you just don't care about the character, I can see why this is a pass for you. You don't want to spend that much, close to $100 on a character that you don't like. But the figure itself is actually very good. The articulation works out very nice. I love the soft goods, and again, that texturing, the crazy accessories, those head sculpts are fantastic. So if you love Morbius and you want a really cool figure of him, more high-end figure of him, then I think he is definitely a must-get. So for a quick size comparison, here he is sitting next to a Marvel Legends Deadpool and Mafex Batman figures. Also for comparison, here he is sitting next to a couple other Mezco vampires, being Blade and Spider-Man 2099. And just for fun, here he is with little Lego Bat Bomb. So there it is, guys, my review of the Mezco Morbius. Now, every time I look at this figure and those blood red eyes, those sharp teeth and that long flowing hair, he totally reminds me of your mom.
Gotcha, bitch!
But seriously though, this is a pretty fun figure, and as someone who's not a really big Morbius fan, I've really enjoyed what they've done here. The sculpting is fantastic with all those beautiful head sculpts. I absolutely love the clawing hands. I love the fabrics used in that printing technique to really Mezco-fy this look, which can be a fairly plain look. They up it with that. And those gadgets and gizmos aplenty with all that crazy stuff and LEDs and guns and knives and vials and all kinds of science doohickeys. I think that makes for a really fun piece, and it's things like that where Mezco really steps up their game and shows you why they're the kings of this genre of action figures. So again, if you're not a Morbius fan, I totally understand why you would pass on this piece for the price tag, but if you love Morbius and you just want a really cool vampire figure, then I think you would love the Mezco Morbius for your collection. So be excellent to each other, and stay nerdy, my friends. Peace.